Hello. In this recording, we will be introducing updates and features that will be available in our upcoming Reveal 10.2 release. Reveal 10.2 is centered around review optimizations that are of great benefit to our current customers. These improvements to core functionality set the stage for our development team to deliver on exciting upcoming new features and integrations that will reinforce our position as the industry leader in AI. During this recording, we will cover the following topics related to the 10.2 update: backend updates and optimizations, new features and functionality, quality of life updates, and bug fixes. We will end this recording with a brief demonstration of our most significant updates. This first slide covers performance improvements that are especially beneficial to application administrators. These enhancements include faster document-to-document navigation, increased filtering speeds on AI scores, and faster import speeds for images when using a custom field as the image key. Finally, Reveal's production, printing, and OCR tasks are now being performed at a page level instead of document level for speed and job scalability. This substantial update allows the system to better manage very large documents that can act as bottlenecks to completing bulk tasks. Although this release is primarily based around improving existing features, we did add several exciting new features. One of our most significant updates is around saved searches. Previously, editing a saved search was a very cumbersome process. In the 10.2 release, we have greatly enhanced this functionality while adding the ability to make a copy of an existing search. This is especially useful in situations where a slight variation of an existing complex search needs to be made. In prior versions of Reveal, users were able to put all results for a specific search term into a saved search. However, there was not a way to create a saved search containing the entire set of documents returned by all terms. This cumulative search can now be created. This next feature is a major improvement to the process of creating new users. In prior versions of Reveal, administrators had to create a temporary password and provide it to users for their first login attempt. Now users can simply be emailed a link to reset the password themselves. This addition is a major time saver, especially when creating many user accounts. A highly requested feature we addressed in this release was related to the ability to better enforce the order and visibility of items in a field profile after an update. Previously, if an administrator altered the field order of an existing profile, the change would only be reflected for users accessing that profile for the first time. Starting in 10.2, administrators can now push field updates to all users. This significantly improves the ongoing management of field profiles in projects with many document reviewers. The next feature addresses situations where users are looking among a mixture of documents that have and have not been produced. In previous versions, users were required to choose the image set themselves as they moved from document to document. In our 10.2 release, a priority order can be set to ensure that the most appropriate image of a document will be automatically provided during doc-to-doc navigation. A common challenge in projects utilizing multiple keyword highlighting lists is making sure the colors selected are distinct enough for document reviewers. As you can see in the screenshot below, we added an example of how keyword highlighting will appear in the document review interface. This update allows administrators to see all the colors used for highlighting with a quick glance. A concern we heard from some of our users was that navigating between documents for training or QC purposes was difficult when utilizing forced tagging rules. In response, we have added a new permission and option during doc-to-doc navigation to avoid the tagging requirements. We also added another permission in this release to allow or deny the ability to randomly sample documents into work folders or saved searches. Finally, we added a new designation for marking a completed assignment batch as complete. This complete designation will allow users to filter out documents already reviewed by themselves or their colleagues from the assignment checkout menu. In these next slides, we will cover several other improvements that have been made to existing functionality. These enhancements were requested by our user community through Reveal's customer support and customer success teams. Reveal's aim is to continuously iterate on our existing processes to provide the best possible experience for our customers. Our first quality of life update is to update the folder navigation pane to automatically select any newly saved search after it is complete. Documents saved from the review interface will now be named after the BegDoc field, rather than a long string of numbers. We had support tickets related to situations where users had been given project access, but had not yet been assigned a role. This could cause some confusion and unnecessary delay in getting users into a project. Any user in this situation will now be able to see those projects with a message letting them know that they must be assigned to a role. We have also made a permissions update related to work folders. Now any user with edit access to a folder and related permissions can change the folder's permissions. For clarity and troubleshooting purposes, project will now show the associated time zone in the Project tab of the company admin menu. We have made two notable updates to production. The first is updating the maximum number of characters available for stamping from 50 to 200. In addition, we have made the default imaging for color images JPEG. This better aligns with the expected image format of other industry applications. Another notable change is within the Review Manager application. Previously, it was not possible in the interface to get a summary of the role groups assigned for a specific user in the system. This made it difficult to quickly audit permissions for users with access to many projects. As you can see in the screenshot below, it is now easy to determine any discrepancies in role groups for a given user. We've also made improvements throughout the Review application to improve the clarity of error messages received when users attempt restricted tasks, such as creating multiple user accounts associated with the same email address. In addition, lists in the Review interface are now sorted alphabetically rather than the order they were created. Finally, we made several updates to grammar, spelling, and capitalization throughout the application. Notably, there are areas in the Review Manager where the language has been updated to better reflect Reveal's current definitions. In addition to the general improvements to the user experience, we fixed several bugs that we wanted to bring to your attention. Issues related to copying templates in the Review Manager have been resolved. The imaging log will now show the names of documents and pages skipped. Refreshing the folder pane will now refresh saved searches. Quick searches from the folder pane now work as expected. Counts for the secured by user have been corrected for situations where documents existed in multiple work folders with differing access rights. Counts provided when hover over any of Reveal's related document icons have been removed to resolve inaccurate counts and improve performance within the Review application. The rendering of multi-page TIFFs in the HTML viewer has been improved. Slicksheets created from printing will no longer be cut off when many fields or long field names are selected. Various improvements were made to the fielded information displayed in the job tracking menu. The first feature we wanted to demonstrate is related to checking in a completed batch of documents. So just like in previous versions of Reveal, over here in the Folders panel, we have the My Assignments folder. When I click on that and move to Manage Batches, we have essentially the same interface, but what we've added is the ability to check in assignments as complete. You can see here we've added this status: completed, available, or checked out. When the user comes in and checks in a batch as complete, it will now be in that status window here and easier to filter out. The other major update in Release 10.2 is related to save searches. Previously, when editing a saved search, the search window displayed may look different than if you were just creating a new search. In the search bar now, when I choose to edit a search, I have the ability to save the search after making changes to the criteria. For example, changing this existing search from an extension of PowerPoint to Excel, or I can save this as a new search. In this example, I will go ahead and change my extension to XLS, and I will save as a new search in that same folder R. Nichols with the name XLS. When I save and run, there's two things of note. The first is that it will go ahead and preserve my original search for PowerPoint files. The second of which is that after I complete the search, the focus will now go to the newly created search. This was not happening in previous versions of the application, making it difficult to find the search you just created, especially in very complex projects with many folders. As you can see, here is my original search for PowerPoint files, and I now have a secondary search for Excel files. The next feature we wanted to demonstrate is related to updating profiles. In previous versions, when a change to a field profile was made, it would change it for any new user, but existing users would not have the update to the field order or the field separate physical. Now what we've added in both the assigned fields and in the display order is the ability to choose Overwrite User Profiles. When this option is selected, this change will go out to all field profiles for all users within the project. The benefit of this is that, as a project changes and evolves, you no longer have to go to your users and ask them to make some of these changes themselves. As an administrator, I now control that process. So again, that exists within the Assigned Fields menu here, and also the display order. The next feature that we wanted to show you is related to ignoring required text. You can see up here in the top section of my tags panel, we have this new option for ignoring required tags. This is for situations where you're hosting a training or you're giving a demonstration, and you want to be able to quickly go from document to show reviewed speed or other functionality. This option will allow you to ignore any sort of option related to forcing responsiveness tag or other type of dependent tag selection. You simply will turn this option on, and as you go from document to document, you will no longer receive that prompt. There is also a permission for this functionality, so users won't be able to turn on this feature unless they're part of a role or group where this permission has been granted to them. The last feature that we wanted to show you was related to image set priority when reviewing documents. As you can see here, we have a priority order. Whatever image set is at the top will be considered the highest priority, and anything underneath that will be considered the next priority, and so on. The idea here is that you may have any document that's been produced as being at the top of your priority list, so that you're always getting the produced potentially redacted version of the document. If it hasn't been imaged, or it's been imaged originally but then replaced, that can be a secondary piece. That way, as you're navigating between documents, you will not have to constantly switch between the different image view, which means you'll just get the best possible image in any given time. This concludes our overview of Reveal Release 10.2. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for upcoming videos on our latest product releases, including both Reveal and BrainSpace.